All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And briefly, I'm just going to go over what we're going to be talking about today. So if you have attended my previous two workshops, we have done the overview of what the daylight change is going to look at. And then we've also done how you can update your course homepage and banners. So today we're going to be talking about an optional set of HTML page templates that CITR has provided, the university has provided, that people can use to make their internal HTML pages look a little bit more like the daylight system. So to start out with, I'm just going to go in and show you an example of a before and after where someone has had their course move to the daylight look and what that looks like out of the box, and then what that looks like if you would decide to use the HTML template. So right now you're not going to really be able to follow along with me. I'm going into someone else's course that you don't have access to, but you can go ahead and watch on my screen. So if you are not seeing my screen right now, please let me know in the chat window or go ahead and feel free to speak up. But right now you should see my homepage on Western Online, and I'm going to be going into the course History 245. So in this course, I'm just going to show you an example under week 1. I'm going to go ahead and click on the introduction of that module. So what you're seeing right now would be an example of how that content will look when daylight is turned on with no modifications. And it's fine, you can read it, it's legible, and for a lot of people, they may have no issue with this. But we've had some people say, oh, well, that looks a lot different, it looks small in here, you have the big font up there, and this looks so small, I want something that looks a little bit cleaner, different. So that is, again, your stylistic choice. We're not mandating anything, but we are giving you the option of having these templates if you want to make changes. So this is a before picture of what it would look like right out of the box. This is how it would look. And I'm going to go ahead and go back over here, and I'm going to open up an example of one that has been done from the template. So this is that same information, except it has been copied and pasted and formatted in the HTML template. So you notice that you now have the larger system font pulled in. You have a title bar and you have some different colors to frame up that content. So this is essentially what we're talking about, showing you guys how to do today. If you decide that you want to have a little bit more stylized look to your internal pages, and that is what these templates will give you. So I'm going to go ahead and get back out to my test course. If you guys are following along with me in my test course, that is fine. You're also welcome to open up any of your courses and follow along there. So I'm going into my test course. The style sheet, basically these templates are driven by CSS style sheets. And basically that allows us to apply formatting across the board to HTML pages. So you really don't need to understand everything behind that, but basically there's a page of code that tells the HTML that you put in the WYSIWYG editor what to do. So the first thing that you have to do to get these templates to work is enable them within your course. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to go ahead and get into your content tool. There are multiple ways to get into your content tool, but I'm just going to go from the course admin menu. So if you're following along, go ahead and go to your course admin menu. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to find content under site resources. And that's going to take you into your content tool. Okay. Within the content tool, and I'll go ahead and say, if you guys are working along with me in my course, please just watch this step that I'm going to do. Don't click save because we'll counteract each other. Everything else you can do just like I am. But in this particular step, if you click save, then what I do can be counteracted. So the first thing that you do in your course is you would click on the settings icon under content area, and you would scroll down to where it says content authoring. And when you initially come into your course, you're going to see this. It's not going to have enabled templates, okay? So you would scroll down to where it says content authoring, and then you would click and choose to enable the HTML templates. So we'll go ahead and enable those and then click save. And so that change has been made. And that's, you're not really going to see anything happen at this point. You've just made the change so that this will work. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up one of these templates. So typically the process in Daylight is going to be, you guys would be copying text from a original page and pasting it into a new template page. For today, since many of you may be working on a page that you don't have previous content in, I'll just go ahead and show you. You could take something from a website, you could take something from a Word document, or any file that you can grab text off of. So really all we need is some text. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab some text to copy here. We'll come back to this. So if you don't copy the text right now, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and copy mine so that I have it, but we'll come back to this step. After you've got your text, you'll just go back into this tab. And from the content area, you need to make sure that you have a module started so that you can create some new content. So if you don't already have a module started, just click in the field at the left and type in a name for a module so that you have something started where you can actually enter content. So I have mine now that says example template. Once you have that created, you're going to go up and click on the new button. And from that drop-down menu, you're going to choose create a file. So we are going to be creating a new HTML file within your D2L course. So we'll say create a file. And once you get this window, you're going to go ahead and type in a name for your title. And one thing that I've been doing as I've been in modifying courses is I've been putting a 2018 after that so that I know what's new and what's old. And when I'm ready, I can go and take out all of the old. That's totally up to you. This will be the title of your document. You can change that later if you want. But right next to the title, you're going to see a drop-down menu that says select a document template. So when we went up into settings and we told it to enable templates, that's why we now have all of these templates that you can choose from in this drop-down menu. 9 times out of 10, I use the blank template, but each one of these will give you a little bit different options. So if you start clicking through them right now, you're just going to see the different templates and what they have on them. A note would be this. Choose the template you want to use before you put any content in. If you put your content in and then change the template, it totally blanks the content out. So best practice with this will be if you decide you want a different template after you've already set your content up, go ahead and make a new page and then just choose your new template and copy and paste the content in rather than having to rebuild it. So when you choose your template, you want to do that up front. If you change it later, go ahead and duplicate it or do something so that you have that content saved and you can copy and paste it right back in. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to choose the blank template to use right now. And I'm going to start with showing you guys how to do headings in your document. So if you are following along with me in the handout, you are now going to be on page 5 of the handout if you're following along. When these documents are set up, they're set up to be accessible documents, which means it's easy for someone to navigate through the page if they're using a screen reader or accessible device. So we're going to be working with headings. Headings also allow us to provide formatting styles to different types of text so that you don't constantly have to be going up and saying left align, bold, size 24. It automatically has a size set, so anytime you apply a heading, it does that. So if any of you have used like Microsoft Word and you've used the different paragraph styles and headings in there, it's just the same idea for this. So we start out with our title, and that, if you can see here in my drop-down window, is a heading 1. So when I go in and I change this information, I just type in my text and then I hit enter to move down to the next row. So what this has done is this has set up my heading 1. And my heading 1 is the title of this particular page in my course. Okay. You may have other types of headings that you want to enter on your document. So we're going to start out with a subtitle now. So instead of just calling this sample template, I'm going to change this and I'm going to say this is my professor information page. So this will be information about the professor. So what I'll have first is contact information. Okay, contact information is going to be my second section of my page. So it's a subheading. Okay, so I want to apply a heading 2 to that for my formatting purposes. So in order to do that, I go ahead and I highlight the text, and then I go to my drop-down menu and I choose heading 2. When I choose heading 2, you're going to notice that it automatically applies formatting to that text. So I've automatically got bold and I've automatically got a size applied. Okay. The next thing that I can do is I can go ahead and just type in some regular text. We're not to the copying and pasting yet. So now I'm just typing in some regular text. As you notice, this goes over to the left side. Some people may want an indent there. If you want an indent, you're just going to put your cursor in front of the text and then go up and click on your indent key. And that's going to indent that text for you. Okay. I'm going to hit return and now say that I want to have another heading under contact information. So maybe I want to have office hours under that. So office hours is actually going to be a subheading of the second heading. So I'll highlight that, and for this one I would go in and choose a heading 3. So notice that that automatically applied my heading 3 styling. So now I have a smaller font, but it is a different color. So using the headings in here, you automatically have some styles applied, so you're not constantly going up having to change formatting in this bar. So now we're going to talk about that copying and pasting. Or no, we're not. Actually, sorry, we've got one more thing to do before that. Many of you in the past may have had images showing up in your HTML pages, and images will they will cause problems with the responsiveness of your pages if you don't have them set correctly to scale. So what we have, and if you're following along with me on page 6 of your handout, we have set some different style attributes for headings within the templates. So you can have different icons display by adding a style attribute. So if you're with me, go ahead and go to page 6 and you'll see a chart at the top of the page where you'll see icons for assessment, icons for assignment, information, process heading, which is a folder, a reading, and a discussion. So I'm going to go in right now and I'm going to show you how to apply the process icon or the information icon in this document. So I will go ahead and I will put my cursor in front of my contact information, which is a header 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the drop down arrow right next to the link. So I'll click on the drop down arrow and I'll choose Insert Attributes. And from Insert Attributes where it says Class, I look at my chart and it says if you want the information icon, type this in the class field. So it tells me to type the word information, all lowercase, into the class field. So I've typed the word information, all lowercase, into the class field, and then I click create, and that gives me an icon in front of that particular section of my page. Okay, so some of the other icons, if I did assignment, I could go ahead and I could make that a header 2. I could put my cursor in front of it, and then I could go over here to insert attribute, and in the class field, I could type in assignment. and that would give me the assignment icon. So this gives you the ability to add some more visual appeal to your pages and some more cues without actually having to build in images, which allows your page to stay responsive. At this current time, you only have 6 different icons to choose from. Additional icons could be requested and built into the style sheets, but right now we have the main 6 that you're seeing on page 6. We are now going to be going to page 8 if you're following along with me. And at this point, we're going to be copying and pasting content from a file. Okay, so if you followed along with me before and you copied something into your clipboard, we're going to get ready to use it. If not, just go out to a Word document, or like I said, go out to a web page where you can copy some text and then come back into your template. I'm going to go ahead and move my cursor down. Now, something that's really important about copying and pasting text. Yes, Christine, you had a question.
Yes. What I wanted to know is if we make these changes in this, the one that I can link through the link you gave me.
The test server, yes.
To my course that you test one.
Yes.
If we make those changes, then is that transferred?
Once you're done making your changes, you're going to contact us and then we move it back over to the live server for you. So you make your changes on the test server, we package it back up and we move it onto the live server so that it will be there ready for fall. It does not automatically transfer back. We have to move it there for you. Just like we had to copy it down, we have to copy it and move it back up.
And can my graduate assistant also access it in this test server?
I believe I added her, but if not, yes, I will add her and she can.
Thank you.
So I will have to check that out. Okay. All right. When you're ready to start pasting, the big thing to remember is do not just use the regular old paste method. So don't do edit paste, don't do control V. You're going to want to control click in the window or right click in the window. If you're on Windows, you're going to see paste as plain text. If you're on a Mac, you're going to see paste and match style. You want to make sure that you are pasting as plain text or matching the style of this document. If you don't do that, it's going to bring over all of that other formatting from the previous system. And then you're going to have to sit there and clear it out, and it kind of defeats the purpose of the HTML templates. So make sure when you paste that you choose plain text or paste and match style. So once you get your text in there, it's basically going to be a matter of you going in and making the changes that you need to make. So if you needed to go in there and delete some things out, if you needed to add some headers, you would go in and do that by going in and changing the headers. So there would be formatting that you would now need to do once you get it in there. But that is essentially what these templates do for you. It allows you to get your content in to the different areas so that you have more of the look and feel of this environment if you want that. You'll see that some of the other things I had in there, if you go down, insert a line, I had some horizontal lines in there to break up the pages. I mean, that's something that you can add. That's not specific to the template. That's just something you can do to break up the page. But if I go ahead and click publish, now you guys will see kind of what this page I just made looks like. And you'll notice as I pull my browser up, it stacks. So it's responsive. Everything folds in how it's supposed to. Nothing gets cut off. And basically, in a nutshell, that is the idea behind these HTML templates. That's what they do for you. If you're looking for just a little bit more of a stylized page and you want to copy and paste HTML content, text content into these, this is what you'll have the opportunity to get out of it. Again, it's totally a decision for you to make based on your time and what you think needs to be changed. we do have the ability, if you have a course that you're moving over and you're just not sure if you want to go this route, if you want to email me and say, hey, could you do one module of my course so that I can see what this would look like, so that I can make a better informed decision if I want to invest the time of myself or of my department's GA to do this, I would be happy to do that for you. Just send me an email and let me know which course and which module so that I could go in and mock that up for you. This has been kind of a crash course, and I know over Zoom sometimes it's hard to follow along when we're working on something this detailed. So if you would like to sit down one-on-one, or you would like to meet again via Zoom so that I can show you how to do this, I would be happy to do that as well.